Hello and good day. This is the daily analysis of EURUSD for January 5th. As predicted, with the market opening on Monday, the price entered a bearish phase. It invalidated the move towards the sell side from this area and this section, and ultimately reacted to the 50% limit of the weekly FVG, which has been refined on the daily and 4-hour charts. By examining the internal structure, the price has entered a high potential zone, which indicates the continuation of the bearish trend in the market. The price might experience a short-term pullback, gradually moving upwards towards the FVG zone or the defined area. It could face a rejection, react there, and ultimately enter a bearish phase. If the price drops from this area, by carefully re-examining the RSI indicator, if we identify a potential divergence, we can then look for buy positions in the market. We are currently targeting higher level zones, but if the price continues its bearish trend and collects the liquidity below the fair value gap or FVG zone and then closes within that specific area, we can look for potential buy positions within that FVG zone. And if selling pressure increases in the market, the price can continue its bearish trend and collect liquidity. It may potentially react to the order block candle or perhaps the BPR zone and this rejection block zone. Also, if momentum increases in the market, the price could have a short-term pullback. It could move downward again. You might also experience a divergence between the RSI and the price. And finally, you should look for a potential buy position from that point onward in the market. By carefully and thoroughly examining the 1-hour time frame, we can very clearly see that the price had a short-term correction towards this FVG zone, and currently it is in a downward phase, which upon further review of the charts in this particular time frame, we can see that it was steadily moving down from the 15 zone. Eventually, after a brief and noticeable short-term correction, it reacted to the zone. The RSI, which is currently at 38 to 42, and the price have both reached this FG zone, which could potentially move downward. If it manages to gather liquidity towards the sell side and closes within the zone, and we see RSI divergences, we can use this opportunity to carefully enter a trade. On the other hand, if it continues its bearish trend and closes below the FG zone, we can then look for potential sell positions in the market, considering the overall market conditions. With increased buying pressure in the market, the price can enter a bullish phase and eventually reach the BPR zones and the order block located here. These are considered to be highly significant zones for price reaction in the market. Wishing you success and profits.